Hey everybody, welcome to another video. If you've been looking for an Ultrabook, you've most likely come across the Razer Blade as an option. Today I'm lucky enough to have the Blade 15 model to check out, and hopefully this can help you make a choice as well. So let's take a look. The laptop itself has a very premium build with its aluminum body, and with the Razer logo lighting up on the lid, it's one of the sleekest laptops I've seen. It's also very compact for the performance it carries, although my main downside is the fact that it's an extreme fingerprint magnet. It will be quite an upkeep to keep this thing clean. The charger that it comes with is 230 watts and has a braided cable with a heavy duty plug. The laptop weighs in at 4.63 pounds and the charger 1.52 pounds for a combined weight of 6.15 pounds. So throwing them in your backpack or carrying it around shouldn't be too bad. The specs on this Razer Blade 15 are a Core i7-8750H, 6-core 12-thread CPU, an RTX 2070 Max-Q, 16GB of DDR4 memory at 2666 MHz, and a 256GB NVMe M.2 storage drive. It also has Wi-Fi 5 and Bluetooth 5. The I/O of this device include a mini DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0B, USB Type-C which is also Thunderbolt 3, and 3 USB 3.1 ports that are colored green. Nice little touch there. Contrary to some, I personally like the keyboard, but I find myself pressing the caps lock key by mistake since I'm used to my own laptop which has the keyboard all the way to the edge. There is no number pad either, so let me know if you guys are okay with missing that feature. The tracking is one of the nicest I've used for a Windows laptop. With precision touchpad, navigating and using gestures feels great. There is no hotkey for disabling it, so when using an external mouse, it may cause an issue if you rub across the touchpad by mistake. You can disable this though by going to the touchpad settings and unchecking leave touchpad on when a mouse is connected. So this is an option you might want to check out. The display is gorgeous on this thing. The viewing angles are amazing, and with a 144Hz panel, everything is extremely smooth. Even with fast-moving text, it is still sharp. Some say the display doesn't get overly bright, and while this is true, it is still an amazing display overall. I do wish it was a touchscreen though. I always get the urge to touch the screen since I'm so accustomed to it, but forget it's not a feature. From what I know, you can only get this on the 4K version. Unfortunately, webcam quality does not scale with price in this case. This is the worst camera I've seen on any laptop I've tested recently. It does have Windows Hello facial recognition, however, to making logging in a little bit quicker. So gaming on this thing, how is it? It is a gaming laptop after all, and I gotta say it's fantastic. The performance of the RTX 1070 Max-Q is about equivalent with the desktop GTX 1070. While that might not sound like much, it is more than competent running at 1080p. With most games coming close to the max refresh rate, and more demanding titles still hovering well above 60. Something about having a powerful device and being able to take it with you is great. I plugged the laptop into my TV, and from there was able to get all my games running where I normally would have had to move my entire desktop. The fans are definitely audible, but not to the point where I would consider it bothersome. Luckily, I never ran into any throttling. The GPU was running above boost clock the entire time. When testing some rendering, the CPU did get up to a toasty 97 degrees. It came close to, but never quite saw it reach its peak of 4.1 GHz clock speed. Still a great performer though. The SSD is a Samsung PM981 drive, rated with 3000 MB per second read speed and 1300 MB per second write speed. I never ran into any issues, everything opens instantly and transferring files back and forth was a breeze. In regards to the battery life, playing Resident Evil 2 on max settings with screen and chroma key brightness set to the max lasted, are you ready for this? 1 hour and 5 minutes. To be honest, that's about what I expected. The indicator light will notify you when you've reached 10% by lighting up red. Also, when you're at 3% and below, it will start blinking. It took 1 hour and 45 minutes to charge from 0 to 100%. I wanted to try a more realistic approach, so I set the brightness to 70% and the chroma lighting to 20%. At this point, I did some web browsing and watching videos, also some light video editing, and it lasted just about 2.5 hours. Something to keep in mind, the performance is much better when plugged in. As you'll see, the frame rate drastically goes up. For battery saving purposes and because the battery can't supply enough juice to the card, it's ideal to be plugged in so you'll always be getting the max performance. One thing I wanted to talk about was the chroma keys, which are per key RGB adjustable. There are so many options you can play around with in Razer Synapse. For those who want to customize, you can do so to your heart's desire. Even with the default options, I think they look amazing. Some games used a customized profile to react to the game itself. Is it a gimmick? Sure. Does it look cool? Yeah. Does it also break your game? Sort of. Oddly, some games have frame stutter when chroma keys are enabled, It took me a bit to figure out what was causing this, but it turns out if you disable the chroma key profiles for the game itself, it fixes the issue. I guess this could be fixed in the future, but something to keep in mind. Alright guys, so final conclusion. The speakers are good but not the best. The feet are kind of useless, and there are some other minor flaws, but I really do love this laptop. I'd be interested to check out other alternatives in the price range, but so far, I'm pretty sold on this one. Anyways guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you liked it. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.